what role do employees have in this work? What role do they have in changing organizations and influencing the C-suite?
Yeah, it's a fantastic question. And I think, like most answers, it's not a one size fits all because so much of it depends on the existing structure of an organization and how employees are currently part of that process or not. I think that, one thing I want to point out is just the power of employees in terms of making brand purpose possible. And one thing that I spend a lot of time thinking about is when you actually look at the results of brand purpose as a kind of strong tool for an organization, it only manifests when it's pulled through a company and when people have access to using it as a tool to make decisions. So I'm just saying that as like a starting point that employees are crucial to this. So it's not only what employees need to do, but it's also how I think leaders need to think about employees as true agents and partners in the business. Employees in and of themselves, the way that, we spend time working with people and thinking about, employee experience is first of all, not being, kind of going back to fear, afraid to have a voice. And I think that for so often, we live in organizational cultures where to actually speak up, there's fear. There's fear for what may happen as an outcome of that conversation. So I think in the most small and subtle way, it's how do you find like-minded partners within the organization who share the same beliefs, and how do you create a platform for yourself, or if there's existing platforms, just starting to speak up. And if you're a part of an organization that is compassionate, that cares, that is human, there will be an opportunity for you to participate and for you to get involved. So I think the first thing is that you are not kind of a bystander of this. You are an active agent in this, that your role matters. And I think that a lot of employees know it, but I think that so often a lot of leadership may not necessarily recognize, the true value in that. So in the very small way, it's just how do you speak up and how do you use the platforms that are there or create new platforms to have your voice heard.
Do you have anything to add to that? The idea of employees as internal forces of good?
This is the time to be audacious. If you are an employee at a company, we are in isolation here, and so to not be occupying the same physical space where normal things like intimidation or being in a conference room or boardroom where there might be leadership and you're afraid to speak up. We're in the comfort of our own homes. We're able to sort of come back to this place of what is important to me. And if there's any time right now where brands are searching for answers, where leaders who've occupied these spaces for a long time are searching for answers in this new world, it's a time for employees to be extremely audacious, but also to find your allies. If you are a person of color, a Black person within an organization, this should not have to be your labor entirely in order to bring these conversations to the fore. So I think it's really important to find those allies, whether it's leadership allies or other people on the team who can help you and distribute the labor of really bringing these conversations to the fore. Our organization has been doing a lot of work. I'm actually really proud of our team for having a series of conversations on race, for putting out a new manifesto that is anti-racist and explicitly anti-racist, and for now creating workshops on how our creative teams and strategy teams can start thinking more inclusively and practicing more inclusively rather than just talking about it.